Was it today that you would arrive? Well, certainly seems like it. Welcome, welcome. I expected you would come, though perhaps not quite so soon. You're here about the missing relics, of course. Well, yes, why wouldn't I want to talk to you? I've been waiting for your arrival. You see, this happens to be the Vault of Moawita, where the Psijic Order keeps its most cursed relics. It's a tad bit emptier than usual, though. We've had a break-in. Exactly so. And you'll be the one to help us collect them again. Hopefully before anyone comes to harm. Why, these items could cause all sorts of mischief. First, though, let's have you read the Psijic Codex. That should help bring you up to speed. The Psijic Order doesn't interfere with much outside of Artaeum, I'm afraid, and the relics have already found their way to Somerset. The items are hidden, of course, but the Codex should point you in the right direction. I believe they're called Dead Drops, a location where one may place an item for another to pick up without raising suspicion. Our thief has hidden all of the relics for that express purpose. Of course, you'll be the one to pick them up now. All ready to head out then on your big adventure? Ah, sorry about that. Location magic isn't always what one would call precise. I can tell you that all these locations are somewhere within Somerset. That should hopefully narrow your search. Well, they're certainly dangerous. I wouldn't suggest touching any of them directly. Their side effects vary, but none are very pleasant, to say the least. Misery, insanity, incessant lute playing, that sort of thing. It's much worse than it sounds, trust me. If you're still curious, I've collected research about each relic. Just read the scrolls placed before their display case. That should give you a good idea about their abilities. Exactly. You'll just need to find the properly labeled display case in the Vault of Moawita and place the relic within it. That should help safely bind its curse. Well, it looks like you're all set. And here's a little something for your trouble. Looks like you... Now that you're all set for the journey, feel free to ask me any questions you'd like. I've never been one to ignore a healthy curiosity. Oh, most certainly. The Relic Master of the Psijic Order, which has been me for quite some time, is in charge of collecting, researching, and maintaining relics of interest to the Order. Each of these relics tend to stand out in some way. Generally, they're items too powerful for the Order to allow their misuse. Other times, they're just mysterious and in need of research. Naturally, those are my favorite. Each relic is, of course, sealed and carefully maintained as a precaution. Why, all sorts of things. I can't even begin to list the effects our relics might have on the balance of Nirn, should their power go unchecked. Not that we'd even let that happen, of course. They're carefully locked away expressly for that reason. Ah, you're able to get right to the heart of the matter, aren't you? The most aggravating part is, well, we saw it coming. Our Order sees most important things in a fashion. Sadly, in this case, we were powerless to stop it. I'm afraid not. Whenever we try to envision the occurrence, or even who the thief is, all we see are shadows. The work of a dark magic, most certainly. I'd have been far more worried if I hadn't already known of your timely intervention. Those who employ such dark magic, well, they don't tend to maintain control for very long. Power always has its price, and I suspect our little thief will have quite the hefty payment. For now, I'll go about my duties as I always have.
I must say, I've just had the most dreadful day. First, my betrothed runs off with some wood elf, and then she manages to get kidnapped by werewolves. At this rate, my reputation may never recover. To think Nirelin would put me in such a position. What do I care about Brengus? Honestly, I'd rather leave the two lovebirds to their fate. But if word got out that I left Nirelyn to die, or if she managed to escape and actually marry that wood elf, suffice to say, I can't just leave her. Well, I'm certainly not risking my life. You have the look of a ruffian. Want to take on the task? If you collect Nirelyn, or at least what's left of her, I'll make sure you're paid handsomely. Oh, and you could save Brengus as well, I suppose. Excellent. Once you've finished, meet me near the Mages Guild in Shimmerine. Of course, discretion is key here. I want no word getting out about this little incident, not even to common folk. Rumors do tend to spread, after all. Do you know how long this marriage arrangement has been underway? Decades. Decades worth of work, all gone if Nirelyn smears her name through wood elf muck. Why, I'd rather suffer 1,000 cuts than such a wound to my reputation. You really don't know? Ah, you must be a newcomer. Every high elf marriage in Somerset is meticulously planned. A matchmaker must be contacted to research the couple's star charts, pedigree documents, that sort of thing. It's a lengthy process. It's necessary. After all, we high elves strive for excellence. Marriage is no different. You might want to look into a matchmaker yourself. Of course, it wouldn't take nearly as long as someone of my standing, and you'd be thankful in the end. You know how it is. The pressure of high expectations does not make diamonds of us all. Sometimes someone cracks. Nirelyn just cracked harder than most. Ran away from home and straight into a wood elf's arms. Can you even imagine? Break off our engagement? At this point? Preposterous! After all, the invitations have already been sent. Pending death, there's no honorable way to cancel now. Discreetly putting this incident behind us is what's best for both parties.
Couldn't you all hear me? I want to be left alone! Wait, you're not one of the pack. Oh, you're not even a werewolf. You need to leave now. It's far too dangerous here. They've already killed Brengus, and it's too late for me. Estidel. I thought I heard him whimpering earlier. I told you, it's already too late. I've been turned. There's no place in Somerset society for a werewolf. I'm doomed to live out the rest of my cursed existence as an outcast. What other choice do I have? I was miserable with Estidel, and I thought Brengus was my one chance to escape, to leave that life behind. He was going to protect me, and in the end, he couldn't even protect himself. No, I can't live like this, serving the very beasts who took everything away from me. Just end it, please. I'd rather die than be miserable. You can take my signet ring. That will prove to Estidel that you found my corpse. Well, I have always been good at controlling myself. I had to be. But still, where would I be going back to? Estidel? A loveless marriage with a mer I hate? I don't know if I could stand that. You know, you're right. Ever since I was turned, I feel stronger, bolder. I don't need to marry Estidel if I don't want to. And I certainly don't have to live in the woods to make that choice. I'll end it, one way or another.
1,000 pardons, but the Battle Reeve requires your prompt appearance at the Proxy Queen's court. Battle Reeve Tanalina requests your presence at the Royal Palace. There is a situation developing, and you have come highly recommended, or so we have been led to believe. There are eager ears everywhere, so keep your voice low. The situation involves Sea Slode. The Battle Reeve has been informed that you dispatched one of the foul creatures. I find that implausible, but as a lowly squire, my opinion doesn't matter. I can tell you that the Battle Reeve sent 3 adventurers and a squad of marines to determine the extent of the problem. After an initial report, contact with the group was lost. What the Battle Reeve will ask of you, well, that's for her to impart.
The Right Master continues to seek the memories that were forgotten or altered by the Sea Slode's mind magic. I still find it hard to believe that they actually compelled him to steal the heart of transparent law. We need to warn the Sapiarchs. He's frustrated by the situation. He hates that the Sea Slode got the better of him and that he can't remember. The Conclave is working with him to restore his memories, while we go to warn the Sapiarchs about the threat to the Crystal Tower. The Sapiarchs are the sages of Somerset, a college comprised of the finest minds.
There you are. Quickly, over here. Well, were you able to find Nirelin? Or at least, whatever those werewolves left of her? I see. Well, at least I won't have to begin my marriage negotiations anew. As long as Nirelin's willing to put this incident behind her, all will be well. Here's your payment for a task well completed and your discretion on the matter.
I've returned, Estadel, and I've reflected on my actions.
I suppose nearly getting yourself killed will do that. I'm just glad you finally came to your senses.
Yes, of course. Dearest, tell me. Our wedding day, weren't we told the moons would be full?
Why, yes. A most auspicious sign, the priests told us.
Oh, yes. Most auspicious indeed. I very much look forward to it.
Let's just hope my betrothed has learned a lesson from all of this. It certainly doesn't pay to go running around with the first vagabond who shows interest.
I trust you to keep my little secret. And who knows? Maybe we'll see each other again. Somewhere deep within the woods.
Good to see you back again, Adept. The Guild is stronger with you at our side.
have to keep awake. What? Are you here to kill me? Might as well. There's no honor left for me now. Not after I decided to send my squad off to certain death. I failed them as their captain. I failed all of Somerset. Justicia Avanaire. She struck me down, ran off to this ruin. I was able to follow her this far. The rest of my squad went in after her, but I fear the worst. With that pearl, who knows what she's capable of? The item we were ordered to transport, it's tied to the Yagra, mysterious creatures that keep attacking our shores. We have no idea what devastation the pearl's capable of, but we can't allow it to be used to dark ends. It must be destroyed. You must move quickly. The pearl is with Justicia Avanaire, somewhere in Torheim Card. Once you find it, destroy the cursed thing. Even if you have to go through Avanaire to do it. She's one of the finest officers the Divine Prosecution has to offer. Came to us specifically for this transport mission. Now I know it was all a setup. She planned to betray us for the pearl from the start. Power? Ambition? A new accessory? I have no idea what she plans to do, but it's something important enough to forever sully her name. There will be no honor for her after this disgrace. She'll be forever shamed, marked in history as a traitor. Compared to the pain of disgrace, hardly noticeable. Avanaire got the drop on me, but I was able to step back in time. It's not mortal, but I can't fight. May that Sleck thank her ancestors that she won't have to face me in battle. It has the power to summon Yagra, hideous creatures that seem to have crawled out from the depths of the sea, as deadly as they are mysterious. We were transporting the pearl to the Sapiox for research purposes. The situation has changed. I'm in no state to get this pearl to Lilandril, and who knows what evil could befall Somerset if it fell into the wrong hands. I'm making the call. In this contingency, destroying the pearl is the only safe option.
How many more must die? These Yagras. There's no end to their numbers.
The Justiciar holds itself up beyond that. But the Council will hold on. Been too long since I dissected someone.
Need to find a way to purge the ruin of these beasts.
These planets think they can double-cross me? I'll show them true suffering! I'll wipe these ruins clean of this Sagatian filth. My name shall be honored, revered! I failed you, little sister.
So, you returned to me alone. The pearl. Is it destroyed? I knew I was sending them to their deaths, but still, I couldn't let Avanaire get away. If not for you, the surrounding towns would have been overrun with Yagra. You saved many today, even if some were lost. Here, take this for your service. Don't worry about me. I may not be fit enough to fight, but I can still walk. I'll head to the closest town and make my report. Just need a moment to catch my breath first. Venom words dripped from the tongue of a traitor. Tell me, did you learn anything useful? Something I should add to my report? Do you expect my heart to bleed at such a story? Avanaire has betrayed her family tenfold by besmirching their name. She betrayed her queen, her nation, her comrades. My soldiers, good soldiers, were killed. For what? An addict's debt? And so she weighed the life of one greater than the deaths of many. I doubt this sentimental tidbit will change anything. Her name shall never be honored by her descendants. She'll be an outcast even in death, the greatest dishonor.
You've picked a bad day for a stroll in the park. Something's got into the animals. They're running wild, frenzied. I don't suppose you saw an Indrik on your way here, a tame one? She's my charge, and pride of the Queen's menagerie. I need to find her. The Royal Menagerie. It holds exotic species from all over Tamriel. Now they're running loose, attacking the keepers and each other. It's a slaughter. It's too dangerous for a gentle Indrik like Lotus. Please, can you help me search for her? Oh, Lotus has only ever known kindness, gentle as a lamb. I hand-reared her from birth. She fled in the chaos, but she won't make it on her own. I have to find Lotus before she's hurt. Or worse. This is the only place she's ever known. She won't have wandered far. I hope. I wasn't at the epicenter of it all. I was about to feed Lotus when I started hearing the animals in a frenzy, yowling and slamming against their pens. Once the mammoths broke free, the whole place came apart at the seams. Total pandemonium. Indriks vaguely resemble deer, but you'd never mistake the two. Their horns and antlers sparkle like crystal, and their fronds and feathers are vibrant in any light. When Jeffers spun their shape, he made a tapestry of all life. I raised her from a fawn, watched her grow up. I can't imagine losing her this way. And the Queen would never forgive me. She and Lotus were inseparable, until the duties of the crown called her away. I made a vow to care for Lotus in her stead. A gift from the sovereign to his daughter when she was barely knee-high. Before she became queen, Her Highness spent many a day frolicking through the royal menagerie with Lotus. Hard to imagine now, I know. I didn't see anyone else come this way, but I hope the others made it to safety. I'd rather not dwell on the alternative. If anyone's still in peril, we should lend our aid. Indriks sometimes graze on these trees. Look around and let me know if you find anything. What did you find there? I don't see any sign of her here. Did you find anything? Stars! I've seen wild mammoths charge the enclosure walls, but they usually give up pretty quickly. I've never seen one driven to battering itself to death. Not by anger, not even by panic. That would be an explanation, but it came on so suddenly. It seemed to afflict all the animals at once. Except Lotus. She was spooked, but not aggressive. I hope that's still the case. Right. Let's head further inside. There, Lotus's enclosure. Maybe we can pick up her trail. Find something? I don't see any new tracks. She didn't try returning to the enclosure. Find anything that might put us on her trail? Huh. Let me see that. Smells off. Starting to turn color, too. It shouldn't have gone bad so quickly. I've never seen an animal react so violently to spoiled food, and nothing this tainted would have passed our inspections. I think something was added, probably close to feeding time. No, it couldn't be. We care for these animals like they were our kin. No one I know would harm one of these poor creatures, let alone do something like this. No, thank the gods. I'd just deposited it here when the trouble started. I don't think she'd graze on any now that it's become foul. But I'd rather not risk it. We should keep searching.
Help! Someone, help!
Did you hear that? Someone's in trouble. This way!
Thought I was a goner, like the others.
Elise, what are you still doing here?
Those lions crept up on me while I was distracted. Thought I was done for. Who are you, anyway? Some friend of Talamar's? He came back to find Lotus? I know he takes his duty seriously, but that's insane. I think I saw her drinking by the reflecting pool, but she's skittish. Bolted the second she saw me passing by. Good luck catching her. No thanks. I appreciate the help, but I'm not sticking around to herd Indrix in this mess. I'm getting out of here before I wind up something's lunch. You should do the same. Good luck with your Indrix hunt, Talamar. Try not to get killed.
Elise, wait! We need to stay together! Damn it! Let's hope we have better luck with Lotus. So much for enlisting the help of other keepers. I just hope Elise's encounter with the lions will make her more cautious. Running off like that isn't a promising start. What was her hurry, anyway? Sorry, didn't seem the time for an introduction. Elise is one of the junior keepers. She really cares for the animals, but she's only got about 10 years under her belt. She shouldn't be working alone. Must have gotten separated from her tutor. She was probably still in shock. Elise has always been a sweet and diligent caretaker, though she has been distant lately. Of course, with some talented exceptions, the average apprenticeship period is 50 years. If we only dealt with local species, 10 years might be within the realm of possibility, but not here. There she is! Lotus! After her!
Talamar! So, you managed to teach it some discipline after all.
Lotus! Easy, girl. I'm here.
The Royal Menagerie is closed to the public at the moment. What are you doing here? His Indrik? You mean the royal family's Indrik? Every animal here is property of the crown. He would be wise to remember that before his personal attachment interferes with his duties. Regardless, your search is over. She'll be secured in the inner paddocks until order is restored. This act of sabotage will not be easy to recover from. You claim you arrived after the incident? I believe you. Whoever drugged today's feed supply knew too much about our procedures to have been an outsider. You may go, but I want you off my grounds. Talamar can escort you out, since watching Lotus seems too much for him. Talamar, take your new friend here and get off my grounds. The Rangers will take things from here.
But Lotus... Yes, Conservator. Sorry about all this. I just want you to know that even if the Conservator doesn't appreciate your efforts, I am truly grateful for your help. Conservator Vinalora. She's the appointed curator of the Royal Menagerie. All the keepers and rangers serve at her pleasure. I wouldn't take it personally. She's not one for niceties under the best of circumstances. If she really believes a keeper is responsible for sabotaging the menagerie, I can't say I blame her. I can hardly believe it, but it's the only explanation that makes any sense. Gods, no! I've worked with everyone here for decades. I just hope Vinalora catches the monster. Thank you again for helping me keep Lotus from harm.
Over here. We need to talk.
Elise? I thought you had already left. What are you doing sulking around here?
I didn't want to get you too involved, but I need help and there's no one else I can turn to. I was the one who drugged the animals. The plan wasn't for them to break loose, just stir up a fuss so I could slip into the conservatory unnoticed. Evidence. The menagerie is a facade. The ugly truth behind Silvarwoad isn't so pretty. There are entire sections blocked off from most of the keepers. Vinalora and her rangers guard them like a vault. The animals they take there never come back. People who question Vinalora don't last here. If she claims the animal is a risk of some kind, it's just quarantined in the inner paddock, never to be seen again. Something terrible is going on, and I mean to expose it. Help me prove that. It's going to take a lot more convincing for Talamar, I can tell. I don't know that he'll ever forgive me for the mess I've made here, but maybe you can get him to hear me out? I'm a spy for the Queen. I mean, I was a keeper first, but when the Queen asks you to serve, you serve. She asked me to keep an eye on Vinalora before she left for her coronation, but the Conservator has stonewalled my advancement. To her, I'm just some uppity Nebara trying to rise above my station. But once it became clear I wasn't going to get into her good graces, I had to improvise. We see how well that turned out. Hey, we can't all be slick and daring Khajiit of mystery. All I know is, healthy animals are disappearing, and her story doesn't add up. She could be selling them to wealthy Altmer to line her own pockets, or even butchering them to sell their parts to craft workers. I don't know. More than anything, I want to make sure it wasn't all for nothing. If I can find the proof that Vinalora is abusing these animals, then maybe it will have been worth it, and Talamar can at least understand why I took the risk I did.
She poisoned all these animals. She almost poisoned Lotus. And for what? It's true that I've never seen an animal move to the inner paddocks that's returned to outer enclosures, but she's suggesting what? That the conservator is culling the herd? I mean, this is a crisis. Lotus is the prize of the menagerie. She wouldn't... This is insane. You know that? What do you need from me? It's a bit morbid, but I would search the bodies by the staff quarters near the main entrance. One of Vinalora's rangers might have had a key. All right, Elise, I'll help you. But if we don't find anything unusual in the conservatory, I'm turning you over to Vinalora myself.
Deal. If I'm crazy, go ahead and turn me in. But you know there's something going on here, Talmar.
Let's just get this over with.